Every time you say that, Harry, they throw things. You need to stop over. Oh no! Fighting one. Plummet's all alone here. Oh no, Plummet!
Desire here needs to watch out.
Oh, big names. Oh, big names. There is so.
Hello and welcome to our coverage of the HCS Pro Series here on Europa Halo. And this is week 2. Absolutely crazy scenes last week. You see, the big questions going into this one is going to be Cartel. They won 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, and are they ever going to be beaten so far? Our first game on stream today is going to be Notorious versus Question Reality. Notorious' lineup: Jimbo, Kimbo, Mose, and Snipe Drone. You surely know all the names by now. Straight Ripping, Fabi, and Fuse. They've been across the pond to big NA tournaments as well. They're playing against Question Reality, former Skit-like players, as well as the Swedish and Scandinavian Kings. Beatley, Crossman, Hercules, MC versus Arbiter. It's going to be a big, juicy first quarter-final here. And I'm joined here by my friends, the legends of the scene. I've got Richie Jersey Sheridan, and I've got Harry Wonderboy Shannon. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, good. Really, really good. Happy to be back. Another week of Halo action. And it's good to have Harry back as well. Not that you weren't good enough, Joe.
I don't mean to steal your seat here, Joe, but yeah, no, I won't lie. It's good to be back. Unfortunately missed last week. I was being an international man of mystery, but I'm back now, and yeah, very much looking forward to this entire Pro Series Cup. And like you said, the question is, can anyone take down Cartel?
Well, yeah, that is a big one. Obviously, we'll have a look at Notorious. They are going to be on the same side of bracket as Mocket Esports, which was a juicy game 5 last week. If anybody caught the streams, I think it went down to 50-49 with Mocket having a lag out during that game as well. So that's definitely going to be a hotly contested semi-final so far. But looking at this game here, Notorious versus Question Reality, what are you guys thinking about this one?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing if Notorious can bounce back from last week's problems, and they started off slow, and it seems as though right now Mocha have all the answers to the questions that they pose, and they just cannot seem to get past them. I don't know if it's a wobble in form, but they just can't seem to find their feet. And if they start off slow again today, Question Reality could come out big and take some games off them here.
Yeah, I think at this point, Notorious will be looking past Question Reality, and that might be something that the Scandinavian team might be able to use to their advantage, because often when you're in these, I want to say early rounds, we are in the quarterfinals already, but in these early-ish rounds for the likes of Jimbo, Kimbo, Mose, Snipe Drone, you tend to almost rest on your laurels a little bit. They tend to use it as a warm-up, and if you can, sneak a game in here or there, then maybe you can make the series competitive, and I think that's probably the objective in the early games in this series here for Question Reality.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just to hit nail on it, head there, both of you guys as well. Notorious, they're always looking towards that Mocket, especially the fact that they're on the same side as Mocket. They know that's going to be their big semi-final game, and you'd much rather prefer Mocket than Cartel and the form they're in at the moment. But just to sort of touch upon that final last week, we did have a 3-0 for Cartel, but Mocket did show some signs of some life. But as we're jumping on board here, we're going to start off with Notorious versus Question Reality, and I'll pass it over to the legends, Wonderboy and Jersey.
Thanks so much, Joe. And we've got Notorious now. It looks as though they're on a collision course and have a date with Destiny with this Mocket roster, but they have a little hurdle here, Harry, to get past, and that is Question Reality.
Yeah, it's not quite the steeplechase hurdle, is it? It's one of those little hurdles that you hop over where you do your calisthenic track. But again, it's like I said before, when you oversee an opponent and you're looking into the further rounds, you're looking to go on that Mocket revenge tour and take down hopefully Cartel in the finals as well if you can get past Mocket. Notorious might just see this as a bit of a banana peel if they're not careful. So hopefully we can see that. Hopefully we can see a competitive series to kick off the stream here today. And I'm very much looking forward to this one.
Arbiter gets a trade onto Jimbo, and Snipe Drone now with the light rifle in hand clambers towards top middle, and Camouflage has gone missing, but Snipe Drone's up in that lovely spot, puts down some shots on the crossman after a teammate of his had made him weak, so he gets a clean up there. This opposite drop down as well, now clambering back up to that treehouse to re-engage, but Beatley has died elsewhere. It looks like maybe to a barrel, or You can't even fall off the map here, so a talented man is Beatley. He's managed to somehow commit suicide, and he's now a sniper drone, puts some shots on the silo and ultimately gets taken down. But a good push here for Notorious early on, Harry.
Yeah, nice kills for Jimbo there as well, but unfortunately the nature of Fathom captured the flag because it's wider than it is long. There's more width than there is depth to this map. It can be so easy to, well, not only overextend if you do spawn out, but also make stands when the enemy team is pushing the base. So you see there, Jimbo got 2 kills, Mo's got 2 kills as well, but still we see Question Reality here with at least somewhat of a loose grip on their own base. You have Hercules here is trying to put damage down, and you can see the damage he has been able to put down on the map has actually been converted into kills thanks to those pretty good spawns from his team. So this is why a lot of teams and players in matchmaking don't enjoy Fathom too much, because it can be so tricky to get a successful flag run on the go. Most tries to pull one in behind, but that only results in 3 down here for Notorious.
Now, Question Reality started off with their backs to the walls, but now starting to grow in confidence, coming back more into the game now, and a few members of the power roster falling, and now we have 3 members towards this treehouse area with a player trying to break out towards the silo area. Snipe Drone wins that 1v1 engagement, and now we're going to try and push immediately into the enemy base, and Arbiter now putting shots down onto Snipe Drone, but he's chasing shadows at the moment here, Wonderboy.
I like the idea though from Snipe Drone here. MC versus Arbiter is going to take him down eventually, but to pull that flag whilst railguns coming up and camouflage as well, it's going to distract the enemy team. That allows Mo's off of your screens to grab the brand new railgun, and no doubt that will lead to a Notorious camo grab as well. MC versus Arbiter gets another kill, but you can see here, well, off your screens, Mo's just picked up a double, and to supplement that railgun, he has camouflage as well. So thanks to that one flag grab from Snipe Drone, yeah, it might seem like a bit of a wasted depth, but in the grand scheme of the game, it allowed Mo's to get camo, and it allowed him to get railgun, but he's just been taken down.
Down goes Mo's with the camouflage and the railgun, the Predator combo as it's been so famously known as now. But Flag still on the move, but 2 members of Notorious do go down. Hercules and Crossman handling business on their side and looking to spring a counter-attack of their own. But still have Jimbo and Snipe Drone coming off the respawn, and now they're back to full strength almost, are Notorious, and this looks like it's going to be squashed before it can get going.
Yeah, thing for Question Reality here is, yes, you got Crossman on top middle, but you need to take care of the flankers, because if someone gets in behind you and their teammates are able to get kills, then it can be very easily 1-0 to the enemy team despite you having this top middle control. Crossman though, so far doing an okay job of staying alive, not the damage output that he would have wanted. He goes down as well. Luckily there are kills traded here, but I think Beatley should be able to secure this flag grab, but he's only going to throw it to the person who's going to grab the read pretty soon, which I think is Mo's. He's actually going for the push onto the base himself.
Always was behind enemy lines momentarily, got the flag stopped, but the flag is still out, and here we go. Question Reality have flag on the move here, and this could be, almost is a 1-0, but Mo has somehow put some shots down. Crossman not covering himself in too much glory, but the flag goes in. It's 1-0, and here we go. Question Reality starting off pretty well here, Harry.
Yeah, new railgun camouflage coming up here as well. I was so surprised when Mo's pushed forward instead of grabbing that flag. A bit of miscommunication there from the Notorious squad. Kimbo has grabbed the railgun, and camouflage should be up momentarily, which is why you see Arbiter here just trying to control these towers, but very uncharacteristic from Mo's. You think when you get that kill and the player basically throws the flag to you, you just hop on the re straight away. At the very least, even if you go down, you get that at least, I mean, 3/4 of the way returned. That's very uncharacteristic, and well, it's first blood in the entire series here to Question Reality.
Now what we need to see is Question Reality continuing to be aggressive on the map. You don't want to start turtling up once you get that 1-0 lead, and maybe just inviting the pressure from Notorious onto you. But Beatley has got the camouflage, and he'll be looking to use it if he can get behind the enemy lines and put some shots behind these players and baiting the rest of his teammates. As you can see, the rest of Notorious push out, put some clean shots to top middle, springs over towards the base, and will now maybe look to pull a flag if he can, just to be a distraction as his teammate Crossman falls to Jimbo across the map. I don't mind this play rather from Beatley. Lovely little play, distracting the Notorious roster, who actually are paying no attention to him whatsoever. He's opting to come back and play a little bit defense as Kimbo gets a couple of kills in his base, and they're pulling the flag of their own. Notorious looking to answer back in anger.
Yeah, there is the veteranship coming in from Notorious. They knew that there was only one behind them. They knew that was going to be a distraction type play, and Well, now it's going to be up to some of the Question Reality players to try and extend it. In the kill feed, you see Hercules go down. He was trying to push into the Notorious Gen. Snipe Drone did a great effort in terms of taking him down. Kimbo and Mose are going to fight top middle. Meanwhile, across the map, Snipe Drone is the man on flag duty. And he's going to get his own return. This should be very momentarily, due to the 4 down, for Question Reality, a tied game 1-1 with Railgun coming up.
4 down momentarily for Question Reality, and Notorious answer back. They roar back to life, and was that just a momentary lapse in concentration that resulted in that score? Are Question Reality given as good as they're getting? We're going to soon find out. Snipe Drone put some lovely shots off the kill feed, and now Crossman is penned back in his own base again here, Wonderboy.
Yeah, Mose with Railgun. Top middle is always going to be a difficult situation to fight yourself out of if you are Question Reality. You can see through the player outlines how they are playing very defensive in their gen. They're just waiting for Beatley to, well, hopefully flank top middle, but that's Camo and Rail for the second time that we've seen going to Luciano. Mose here on top middle, and maybe top middle not the best place you want to be if you are with camouflage. You want to be down low, you want to be sneaky, you want to make the most of the fact the enemy team can't see your movements. But I like how Mose is playing this, actually, just waiting for Question Reality players to go for the re. This is a very interesting challenge, though. That camouflage is honestly one of the worst lives I've seen him play in quite some time. That's 2 mistakes, big mistakes here on Fathom from Mose so far, and well, the deeper that Notorious go in this tournament, he'll be hoping that he can clean up some of that bad gameplay.
Well, I like to say the play looked promising from the start. He was facing that flag, and then once he opted to drop down, he was sort of cut off from his teammates, and he was really adrift, and he was forced then once he hit the floor with that railgun shot that he knew he was in a fight and in an engagement, and maybe hoping that player that was down to no shields, but in fact he wasn't. He was a full shielded player. He was 2v1, and Mose pays the price with his life for that misplay. And for the moment, it looks as though Question Reality have actually scored off the back of that as well. So a misplay from Mose, and wobbling here are Notorious very early doors.
Yeah, just going for a bit of a desperate flag grab once again. He will eventually go down, but Crossman with a double will make things a lot harder for Notorious. But you're right, 2 misplays from Mose have basically gifted Question Reality those 2 captures. He had the chance to return the first one, and well, we saw what happened with the second one moments ago. Snipe Drone Note running this flag. You'd like to see more slays go Notorious's way before he starts to move this across, but I think the call has come in that they are overextending through that side of the map, and well, Snipe Drone knows he's going to have all the cover he needs here, Richie. New railgun just dropped. It's Jimbo with that, and it's 2-2 in this game.
2-2, all level here. Both teams playing pretty decently, it must be said. There are a few individual mistakes, but nothing that's been game throwing so far. And Jimbo with the railgun looking to push the envelope here, maybe make some inroads into the enemy base, gets that kill. 3 dead momentarily, Jimbo with the killing spree, but he does drop dead. But Flag is now on the move, and Snipe Drone is hurtling towards his own base, and can Question Reality come back here? They're overextending. The Flag is already in the base. Snipe Drone looks over, he's gonna get it in. No, he doesn't. He gets taken down. 2 members of Notorious fall. Kimbo is the last alive here momentarily. Mose gets the kill though off the respawn, and he gets a double kill. Can they get this flag in? Camouflage is in the power of Mose, and they can, and it's 3-2 in favor of Notorious and 1-0 in the series. Wow, what a finish that was, Wonderboy.
Well, Mose giveth and Mose taketh away. The big triple at the end, I believe it was, from Mose to secure that final flag. It wasn't a triple, just a double, but he did clean up 3 in a row while all his team were down. Very well played. Those individual mistakes might be playing on his mind a little bit, but we'll take a look at the stats. Kill-wise, Snipe Drone leading the way. Objective-wise as well, we saw him with all 3 of Notorious's captures. 20 and 13 spread means he goes a delicious +7. Player of the game for me actually was Kimbo. We didn't see too much of his gameplay, but 19 kills plus those 12 assists sits him pretty in terms of KDA. Very well done indeed. Damage-wise, fairly consistent across the board, to be honest with you. No real standout performers. I suppose you could say Hercules on the side of Question Reality, highest damage dealer in the game, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, no, he's just pipped by Kimbo. So interesting game 1. Signs of life from Question Reality, but I think they would have liked to have won that one, considering how close it was.
Well, how close it was, and now we have a Slayer on Truth, and it's always said that anybody can win a Slayer, and with the way Question Reality are playing at the moment, I wouldn't put it past them to maybe pip this and tie up the series. But I believe Joe actually has a score update from the other side of the bracket. What have you got for us, Joe?
Yes, I've got 2 score updates for you in other quarterfinals going on here. We've got Mockit, who have just taken down Tommy McCrogan's team, that being Austrian Force. It was a 3-1 win there, so it wasn't convincing. It wasn't a 3-0. And also Cartel winning 3-0 against Drill Italia, which means that Cartel are going to be in one of your semi-finals, and the winner of this will play against Mockit in the next one.
Thank you so much, Joe. And like we said, they're on a collision course, are Mockit and Notorious once again, and they still have this Question Reality team to take care of and take care of business and handle themselves. And they put in a good show here, a good show, and so far have Question Reality, Harry.
Yeah, good showing in game 1, but again, they would have liked to have won that for the rest of the series if you take that first game on Fathom, and they had opportunities to do so. They have to shake that off now. Slayer Truth is our game 2, and well, looking ahead to the potential semi-final between Notorious and Mockit, there was actually a bit of dodgy dealings going on in the week, Richie. I'm not sure if you heard about it. Precision Knight tipped to join Notorious actually in place of Jimbo, to the point where Mockit were actually scrimming with Jimbo instead of Precision Knight. But somehow the wires got crossed. Maybe it was a bit of mind games from the Notorious boys, and maybe sending in Special Agent Jimbo just to infiltrate and get some of their tactics out of the way. But either way, it's as you were last week, same rosters, and we'll jump into this one 3-6, and Beatley and co have some work to do.
That is the sway that these players have. When you're a player like Precision Knight and you see the names like Mose and Kimbo looking for you to join their roster, and sometimes the offer can be too much, even if you're on a Mockit roster who is actually beating them every single time you're coming up against them. Such is the sway and the pull they have. They can maybe persuade, and Jimbo would have been the cost and the switch-a-roo there, but instead Jimbo is back on this roster, and like you say, maybe getting some inside starting strats and some dealings. But at the moment, 7 kills to 10 in favor of Notorious. Make that 9 kills to 10, and they're in touching distance and neck and neck here at the moment.
Yeah, good thing here for Question Reality as well, as Hercules is looking to try and clean up maybe a triple kill, isn't able to do so, is that they have control of the pink tower. And yes, Camouflage not up for another 40 or so seconds, but the fact they have control of this area of the map is something that Notorious very much want to oppose here. They want control of pink tower in order to secure the only power up on the map. So you can see Hercules is coming under so much fire, and a fresh 3 down for Question Reality. It's like we said, Notorious, they knew they wanted the pink tower. That is all 4 down for Question Reality, and suddenly the map is flipped. We need to see the same thing here from Question Reality. They know the Camouflage is coming up. They need to grab a base. Looks like they're going for blue, and then they need to come over to the pink tower ready for the power-up.
Notorious have got Question Reality exactly where they want them, and they're over on the car side spawning up, so this should be a free camouflage as Jimbo looks towards the red side, knowing teammates of the opposite side are going to spawn up over that side and maybe play red base, having played blue base the side before that and coming unstuck. But Jimbo's down to no shields, gets that player down to no shields as well. He gets the melee out, but Snipe Drone also in the toilet gets a kill of his own, and you cannot flush Snipe Drone down, that's much for sure. But the way he's playing at the moment, he's playing lights out, as he was of course last week as well. Even got me singing Celine Dion. But Camouflage actually is in the chest of Kimbo. Maybe we should switch over to him and see what he can do with it heading towards top middle.
Yeah, you might think that life played by Jimbo pushing red into 2 players is a bit of a wasted one, but it's what enabled Kimbo to grab this power up, and that's what you need to do. You need to play contact over on that base that the enemy team are pushing when they want to try and get a sight line on Camouflage. Yes, you give away the 1 death, but it is in exchange for the power up. So now Kimbo can fly around the map, be a bit sneaky, and well, with 2 down on the side of Question Reality, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kimbo and co maybe push the pace a little bit more. And seems like he's got a call here that his teammate spawned over at blue, so he knows the entire QR squad is going to be over here at red. And now it's time to collapse and maybe make the most of some of the damage that the teammates are putting down. Could finish a triple here, doesn't quite have the shots to finish. But a 7-point lead looks very nice here for Notorious.
Notorious at the moment dictating the pace of the game, and Kimbo and co just making this QR roster fight for every inch on the map and not giving up any yardage for free, and playing touch tight and playing contact as Wonderboy touched upon him with another camouflage up in the next 30 or so seconds, and already got a significant lead over the QR guys, and they're just playing so turtled right now. They cannot seem to battle out of their base. They're playing the attics, playing the front base, but look to play contact and waiting and inviting the pressure on from this Notorious roster, and you don't always want to be doing that against this caliber of player, Harry.
Well, you saw there on the outlines, Mose and Mose and Kimbo actually it was, over on that red bubble. That might just be a distraction play to allow Snipe Drone to come over here and wrestle away Pink Tower control. If I was Question Reality, I maybe don't bite on that bubble push there from the two Notorious players, because, well, Beatley and Crossman are going to combine to take down Jimbo, who just picked up the camouflage. And, well, it's quite lucky for Question Reality that they were able to get that burn, because there was a good little push in from the Carbine side from the two Notorious players. But luckily, Question Reality make it work, no camo in play.
At the moment, it looks as though the Notorious players playing lights out, bait and switch, all the fundamentals of Halo, as Kimbo gets yet another double kill over on the car side, pre-nading those windows for any spawners, and the players opting to try and push the bases, but nobody home on this occasion for that grenade. It looks as though Kimbo's just frantically trying to find anybody he can at the moment, trying to press home disadvantages. You have all the map positioning in the world at the moment. As you can see, QR still stuck in the bases, still scrambling, trying to stay alive and squirming like fish in a barrel, and they're just in a wolf pack on the hunt are this Notorious roster.
Seems a lot more succinct, doesn't it, than the Fathom game that we just saw from Notorious here. They know the game plan they want to employ here on Truth, and it looks a lot more sharp. And for Question Reality, this was the Notorious you hoped you weren't going to face in Game 2 or any games of the series. Crossman combines with his teammates to at least take 2 of the Notorious players down, but with only 4 points to go, this one's a foregone conclusion. And, well, it's like we said before the series, we fully expect Notorious here to be on a bit of a revenge tour, trying to take down Mocket and, of course, Cartel, who bested them in the season finals last time around as well. So they very much have their sights on revenge here, and it's a formality. And we will end this game 50-38 in favour of Notorious. Richie, good game from them.
Good game, and a lot more commanding from the Notorious roster. Something that we were expecting to see from Game 1, but Question Reality pushed them all the way on Fathom Flag, but just came unstuck in Slayer. Just all the ingredients that they needed, Notorious. They pushed the envelope, had the camouflage when they needed it as well, and just always had this QR roster on the back foot. But talk me through the stats, Harry.
Yeah, well, when you look at the stats, it looks not too bad, actually. When you look at the damage dealt statistic, I mean, the two teams not too far away from each other. I mean, about 300 difference overall, just sort of eyeballing it. But the difference is the fact that, Notorious are able to collapse together and finish off those kills. So yeah, sure, you had Question Reality almost there damage-wise, but the difference is the kills that you finish and the kills that you are able to actually turn and convert into points, really. Looking at the big performers we saw there, Jimbo 16 and 9, nice game from him. Player of the game once again for me. Snipe Drone 14 kills, 10 assists. That's a very, very nice 24 kills contributed towards, along with Jimbo as well. So both those players playing very well there on Truth. And again, for Question Reality, it's the Notorious you hoped were not going to turn up here in the quarterfinals. Just hearing that Mose has spilt his Red Bull. Not sure how true that is, but either way, looks like we're almost ready to go into Game 3 here, Richie.
How will a spilt Red Bull affect the performance of Mose? We'll soon
Sticky
find
controllers.
out.
It's like Gamergate, isn't it? It works the same.
He won't be able to press his A and B buttons. The buttons will stay stuck, and I hope he's playing bumper jumper, because they're the buttons that he will need. But as we jump into Oddball Eden, traditionally not the strongest point for this Notorious roster. They generally do not like the oddball game type, and maybe if you're time to take the game, because if not, you'll be out of the competition and we will not be seeing you again until next week. But Oddball Eden is the name and the aim of the game. Get the ball into your hands, score more time than your opponents. What way do you see it going, Harry?
It's a toss-up, mate. It's an absolute toss-up. I know lots of players and teams not a fan of Oddball. And, well, I don't think Question Reality are going to be much bigger fans of this game type after this game here as well. MC Arbiter is the last player alive on Question Reality. He was able to scoop up the overshield, so no point pushing in by himself. That will just be shredded. Snipe Drone has the snipe, which again spells, bad news bears here for Question Reality, as Kimbo's there to help out. It's actually a potential teamfight 1 here as Arbiter comes in on the flank. So, despite Notorious seeming to get off to the better start with those 3 kills, Arbiter takes down Jimbo, and now maybe some ball time can come in here for for Question Reality. It's Notorious that have to wait for spawners now.
Arbiter taking down Jimbo. Eventually, it must be said, he was whiffing melees, didn't know whether he was going to reload his gun, and Snipe Drone almost doing the same. As he found that body shot, thought it was a formality that he was going to get that kill, but he didn't in the end. He whiffed his melee, and now we have seen QR take control of the game momentarily, scoring some points up by a little margin at the moment. We see the red base rotation, opting to throw the ball at the map, and will he opt to throw the sniper rifle off the map as well? That could be an interesting play as he gets that kill on the Snipe Drone, finds the body, and then finds the grenade banking off the stairs, and now Mose finally takes down Arbiter in anger. Sniper rifle down inside red base, and maybe Snipe Drone will get the shout that it's down there. His baby's in red base and maybe looking to be adopted again, but Arbiter off the respawn in blue base, so we will see Crossman down bottom middle fighting for this overshield as soon enough. The ball in hand wins the kill on Kimbo, but overshield not for another 10, 20 or seconds or so still plenty of time to get set up at the moment. Snipe Drone has found his baby in red base, and here he is now looking to peel some faces.
Yeah, if I'm Snipe Drone here, I maybe think about rotating around to Turbine here. You can see on the outlines with Overshield coming up, as you said, Richie, in a little while. It's maybe time to start pushing that area of the map. Nice double. He will be back smack though, and well, it's a key team fight to win here if you're Notorious. They didn't grab the first Overshield. It looks like they will be rewarded with the second. And the good thing for them as well, Jimbo been scooping up the ball time this entire time, and you can see well, Mose here is just looking for the movements, but on Jimbo's screen Kimbo is just waiting to grab the overshield. I absolutely love that. Why grab it straight away? Why give the enemy team an idea of when it's coming up? Why not just wait, use it to the best of its abilities, and now Kimbo can start to go to work with these extra layers of shields. He is going to be behind most of the flankers here from Question Reality's push, so just keep an eye on that kill feed, and of course keep an eye on the screens to see how Kimbo and the squad are able to eradicate some of the pushes coming in from the Scandinavian team. Looks like it's worked out here for Notorious. Jimbo with 2 and Kimbo with ball time.
Kimbo lovely stagnating the timer on that overshield, as Wonderboy touched upon, and it's paid in dividends here as he's got the odd ball, got control of the map, and Kimbo's pinned down again in the window trying to get that sniper rifle, trying to secure it, but unfortunately that actually only works for Snipe Drone, so he will be picking that up shortly, no doubt, whether it's from the cold dead hands of a QR member or not. He will find it, but Beatley picks up for the moment. Can he find some faces? Looking to peel Moses' wig, but he cannot do so. Snipe Drone gets taken down by a couple of shots to the body from Beatley, and he's gotten pressured off the respawners, and a little bit too slow from QR to push into that ball carrier.
Caught in two minds there slightly from Beatley with the sniper rifle. You need to be a little bit more aggressive and realize you don't have the time to play that kind of position when you know you've already slayed out some of the enemy team. Jimbo's turn to play with Snipe now. He can play a little bit safe here. His team have a 40-point advantage. If he is able to stay alive with Snipe, he can basically just play a glorified game of Slayer, but he's taken down. Now it's time to see if MC versus Arbiter can really put that power weapon into use. We haven't seen anyone really go off with it so far, so if there's a time to do it, it's now. Snipe Drone with turbine control means his team will know that, well, the overshield will be coming up soon, but don't forget Kimbo played that so late last time around, and that's going to confuse Question Reality. They're not going to have an accurate timing on it, and because it is so delayed, you see the push come in, it has to be decisive, and well, if they can take down Kimbo, which they do, they might just be rewarded with the power up here.
Yeah, it was pop up around the 30-second point. There it is. Hercules pops into his chest, just gets the full overshield. It was about to be burned, but Snipe Drone and Kimbo missing those couple of shots. Snipe Drone dives towards that OS player, and just like that, the overshield is gone, completely obliterated, and there he goes. 2 members of QR down. Beatley responds with a trade of his own with a grenade, but that's now 4 members down. No play ball as well, and this should be a Notorious ball and a rotation as well.
Big shame not to get that play ball, and that's going to reward 10 or so seconds depending on how well Notorious can hold this setup. And well, Kimbo's going to try and rotate it. I think the better option there would have been just to play the ball. Maybe he got pressured from the base. I'm not sure what happened there, but either way, Crossman with 2 could turn it into 3 here, which he does. The overkill's here as well if he wants it, but Arbiter steals it. Crossman won't mind at all though, because them being 39 points down and counting means that the ball time's the priority here. No one cares about any of the overkills, any of the multi-kills. They care about the points on the board, and it's another one of those game types, like game 1, Fathom Capture the Flag. It's one of those game types some teams just don't fancy themselves on, and if Question Reality can steal one back here, then they could, well, they will extend this series. They have to win it. Otherwise, it's going to be a 3-0.
Yep, if they do not win this game, it will be curtains on their tournament life. And Kimbo's got the mini rocket launcher, the Homan beacon in the window, but he's going to trade that out now for the sniper rifle, and Crossman immediately putting pressure on him, and Hercules as well, and he gets the kill. Every time Kimbo puts his hands on it, it seems to be cursed. Did Notorious get the play ball? Yes, they did, so that will delay any scoring for QR just for a moment and will put them into a perilous position down bottom middle. But now all Notorious need is 26 seconds to win the game. And here we've seen it, Hercules take it down, Snipe Drone also gets a kill in the feed as well. Kimbo gets a double onto Arbiter as well, and it is looking very, very shortly like as though it's going to be a 3-0 for this Notorious roster.
Very curious rotation there from Beatley. If that's me, I'd maybe bait the ball. I know he wanted to try and move around to Turbine for the overshield, but once you realise 2 of your teammates or 3 of your teammates have gone down, you just need to prevent the enemy team grabbing ball time. Kimbo with Snipe, off your screen, Mose has overshield as well. This one is done and dusted from here on out. It is a formality, despite what the kills on screen are saying. I'm calling it right now. Notorious, they just need to see this one over the line. Mose finally gets a couple of kills, and those are kills maybe you should be making if you question reality, but with 5 points to go, Richie, it's time to count them down. Notorious, they have won the series.
They kept it scrappy. They were in every single game, it has to be said, but just didn't have enough when it came to winning the game and clutching up in those moments. Well, they will look back on Fathom Flag as one that got away. They started off so well and caught this Notorious roster slipping, but it is a 3-0 victory for the Notorious roster, and Wonderboy taught me through the stats.
Yeah, it can be quite difficult sometimes to read the stats in Oddball because obviously you have the objective time on the furthest left. But we'll focus on the kills for now. 17, the most in the game by Mose. A nice performance from him. Obviously had the least ball time, and that's what you expect. You want the player with the least ball time to have the most kills because he's the one touching the objective the least. Jimbo though, not too far behind him. 2 kills behind, and with 70 more points pretty much. I mean, give or take a few. There and well, overall, I was impressed with Question Reality actually, how they were able to go toe-to-toe in terms of slays with Notorious. It's not often you see teams do that in this sort of round. Yes, we are in the quarterfinals now, but just a few plays that could have gone differently in that series, and it could have been a very different tale, and maybe something for Question Reality to work on for next week, and they could maybe see it go the other way. But for now, the experience of Notorious, they power through.
You were billing this QR roster as a small hurdle on the road to the finals for Notorious, but they definitely made themselves a mountain, what looked like they could have been a molehill. But we will be throwing it back to Joe, and they're on this collision course again with Mocket. Drama will of course ensue. Joe, what did you think of that whole series?
Yeah, it was some good plays in there for Chris Reality, but as you guys were saying, Notorious looked like they had their eyes set on that semi-final with Mocket, which is locked in now. Off stream, we've got Team Name in a game 3 versus Murray and Robin. They're 2-0 up in that one, so it's looking like Team Name probably against Cartel in the other semi-final. But for this series, I mean, it was all going one way. There's some good shows from Question Reality. There definitely was some things to look up on. And again, all of this, even if you lost the series, you're always looking at those games and highlighting the games you're playing against these professional players as the games you can improve from. You can go watch back that whole series and go, well, what did we do here? What did they do here? And learn from those players as well. And it's a great learning experience for all of them. We are now going to be loaned up into our semi-final game, which will be, we're going to stay on board with Mocket versus Notorious here. And what do you guys think about this one?
Well, it's going to be fireworks. It always is. And one thing that we do have when this next match does start eventually is that we have a giveaway. And the giveaway code will be Sketch. So if you type that in the chat, we'll do a roll at some point down the line. And Sketch, SKETCH. That's our man Joe hosting us here today. And as you were touching upon this Power and Notorious roster, I feel like Harry might have had a thing or two to say. Harry, what have you got?
I will admit that when I heard about the result last week, I didn't quite get to see it live. But when I heard about the result, and people in my stream the next day were saying they lost a 3v4 game 5 when they were up 49-47, something like that, or 46, I think it was. I gave them the benefit of the doubt in that in Slayer games, it can be tricky to push it over the line when you are that 4 because the 3 has more players to find and less players to die. But when you're on 49, you only need to kill one of them. And I think that might play into the minds here of Notorious. They need to shake it off. But having lost to Mocket the last 2 times in tournament play, not only at the season finals a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, I think it was, but also last week, that's going to play on their minds a little bit. They need to overcome this hurdle, to use the same metaphor that we so aptly used previously. But they need to get over this banana peel because there's a bit of a jinx on Notorious at the moment. They can't seem to shake this Mocket team that seem to be coming out on top more often than not. So after the break, Richie, we'll see whether or not they're able to do so.
Will Mocket continue to be the kryptonite for Notorious? Find out very shortly as we take a short break as we get the lobby started up, and we'll see you very soon.